Hey guys, my class is working on decimal place value, so I thought we would do a little study guide. So we've been working on our place value in a chart like this, where the decimal point is right here. To the left of the decimal point, we have our ones place value. To the left of that would be our tens. So these are our whole numbers, and to the right of the decimal point, we start to get our decimals. So this will be our tenths. And notice that past this, they start to mirror each other. So we have our tenths. After this would be our hundredths. See how we have that THS at the end? That tells us that it's a decimal. Then we have our thousandths. So something to keep in mind that with our decimals is as we go to the left, and this is the same thing for with our whole numbers too, the numbers get bigger. As we go to the right, our numbers get smaller. And we know that with our regular numbers, if we have 40 with our 4 here in the 10 spot, that's going to be bigger than if our 4 was over here. That's smaller. Something else we've been talking about in class is as our numbers go from here over here. Sorry, my markers are not cooperating today. As we go over, we're multiplying by a place value of 10 every single time we multiply by 10 for each place value. And my kids are pretty good about knowing that. So as we go over to the left of place value, so when they're side by side, they're just a place value of 10 away. If we're over 2, like our tenths to our tens, we have to go over 1, 2, so that's 10 times 10, which would be 100 times away. However, when we go backwards, like from our tens to our ones, we're actually dividing by 10. So our tens to our ones, we're getting smaller by a power of 10. Same thing over here, dividing by 10, dividing by 10, dividing by a power of 10. So let's practice a little bit. If we're going to fill in this pattern of multiplying by 10, then we'll do another one in a minute for dividing by 10. Let's start out with this digit 4 in the thousands place. That means everything else would be a 0. Typically, we just put a 0 right here in our ones. So it would look like this, 0.004. And of course, we don't say it like that. We say it as 4, and it's in the thousands place value, so that's how we say it, 4 thousandths. And if we multiply it by 10, it's going to come right over here. So what place value is it in? The hundredths. So we would have 0.04. Sometimes our kids like to actually physically move that over. Our next one, if we multiply it by 10, noticing our pattern, we're going to come over one more, and it's in the tenths spot. If we multiply it by a power of 10 again, it's going to come over here, and now we've got a positive whole number of 1. If we multiply it by a power of 10 again, it's going to be right here in the tens. And we know that if a 4 is in the tens spot, that's going to be 40. We would need a 1 or a 0 right here. All right, now let's do a new pattern. Let's do divide by 10. So let's have a new digit that we're working with. Let's use a 6, and we're going to put that in the tens spot. So that would be 60. And if we had 60 and we're dividing by a power of 10, it's going to move over to the right. So now 60 divided by 10, we know that is 6. If we divide it by 10 again, we're going to go on the other side of the decimal point, and now we have 6 tenths. If we divide it by 10 again, that's going to come over here in the hundredths place value, so I'm going to need a 0.06. And last but not least, for 5th grade anyway, we're going to head over to the thousands place because we're going to have to divide it by 10 one last time. And we're going to have 6 thousandths. So we would have 60, 6, 6/10, 6/100, and then 6 thousandths. So I hope that helped you a little bit today.